What's up, YouTube? Welcome back to Seeing Reptiles for another video. In this video we will actually be discussing how to handle your reptiles, whether they are small or large, geckos, lizards, snakes, amphibians, it doesn't matter. We're going to be covering safety tips as well as how to make sure that you do not cause harm to your animal and how to prevent harm to yourself. Let's get into it. The type of exotic creatures that we have, they're typically nocturnal, right? Being that they mostly come out at night, that might be the time that you may actually want to see your gecko, but I decided to take this little one out during the day because it's less active. I do not know the gender yet, so stay tuned for another video because we're going to have a raffle. Every viewer is going to comment what they think the gender of this gecko is. And out of the comments, whether you commented boy or a girl, you will be entered for a raffle. The raffle will be announced soon. I don't want to spoil anything. So, back to the video. Typically, any reptile that you get when you just bust in the room or open their enclosure, they're going to get skittish, they're going to get scared. But it is really up to you to calm and set the tone. Talk to it in a very, very nice tone. You don't have to talk to it like a dog or anything. But you want to make sure that it knows that it is you and not just a predator breaking in. You know what I mean? Another tip that I would like to give my viewers is just that make sure your reptile associates good things with you. Make sure that they know who you are and they're already going to pick up on your scent because they're in your house. Also, with my gecko's food, I pour a little calcium inside of a bottle cap with the smoothie, and I add water and I stir it with my toothpick just so I can get the right consistency. Eventually we're going to go to real fruit from the blender. I just got to figure out what my gecko likes, and yeah, stay tuned for that. Another thing that I would like to mention is just that these animals are actually very, very curious. So he may actually look at something across the room and try to jump to it, and you might not realize it. So you want to stay close to the floor. You don't really want to give them the opportunity to jump off of you or jump off of items and hurt themselves. And just like you see here, the gecko is actually doing its own thing. It's just curious. Let them roam. Typically, you would put one hand in front of another, and as they walk onto the hand, you want to put the hand that they just walked off of in front of the hand again. So that way you give them a little bit of exercise and you don't get tired. Right now, my gecko looks like it's gonna jump on my camera. I hope that it does not. He didn't jump on my camera, he jumped to the next hand. So just like that, I will put the next hand in front and I would allow them to jump to the next one. If you have a snake, let them slither to the next one, and so on and so forth. I would also recommend keeping your animal away from other animals. I do not advise playing with a reptile around cats. Cats are just curious animals. I know for a fact 9 times out of 10 they may try to assault your reptile. If you have a dog or a cat, I do not advise playing with your reptiles around your animals. 1, because the dog or the cat may actually try to eat the animal or play with it. 2, the reptile can actually spread diseases, spread different types of things, but we're going to take salmonella because that's the most common. It can spread salmonella. So you want to make sure you wash your hands before and after handling these reptiles, as well as keeping them away from your mammal pets because you don't want any diseases to be communicated between the two. Regarding handling reptiles around pets, I seriously do not recommend it unless you know for a fact that your animals are not vicious and will not hunt down this animal. I have a lab pit mix, however, he is very gentle. He comes in all the time when I'm changing the terrarium out. So he knows the scent of the gecko, and he doesn't play with the gecko, but while I'm holding it, he'll sniff and sit around us and stay around us all day. Please make sure you guys wash your hands before and after. You want to make sure you don't take anything into the gecko, and you want to make sure that you're not taking anything away from the gecko and spreading it around the house. Hot water, antibacterial soap works perfectly fine. If they are skittish at the moment that you want to pick them up, give them a moment to calm down and then try to approach in a different manner. Give them a minute to smell you. Just kind of touch them lightly and then proceed. Make sure that your reptiles are very, very comfortable and maybe have some food near. Different things may work for different animals, so just kind of play around and see what works for you. Some lizards' tails can fall off, such as this crested geckos and leopard geckos. Crested geckos do not grow the tails back, however leopard geckos do. Please be very, very careful with your approach. Please do not pick them up from the back, and do not try to hang them by their tails. I don't even touch the tail, I don't go near the tail, but the gecko typically does wrap the tail around my finger, and I would not close my fingers. I keep them very, very spaced apart. So that is another thing about handling reptiles. Please keep your fingers apart and allow them to explore whichever direction they would like to go so that they become very comfortable with you. I typically go under the chin like this and kind of rub it and then push upward like that, and this one typically crawls onto my finger like that. Crested geckos like to kind of go to the top. I know my leopard gecko love to walk up here as well. However, make sure that you sanitize. Wash your hands, use alcohol. Please use some sanitizer. Just make sure that antibacterial soap is not too far whenever you are actually handling. So, we're not sure if this is a boy or a girl yet. However, we will be doing a gender reveal video, and whoever gets the answer right will be entered for a drawing for whatever pet store they would like to go to get reptile supplies for their own terrarium at home. Be safe, you guys. Please remember to like, comment, and subscribe. And we'll see you guys next week on Seeing Reptile.